In a way, we could argue that this is going back to the original intent of business, where business is a means to an end. It facilitates the progress and prosperity in people's lives rather than just maximizing economic value for shareholders.
CBU is working with a lot of local community organizations, and we're also partnering with Farm Shop, a social enterprise in Kenya that has a very innovative business model and is looking at achieving scale and reducing food insecurity in Kenya and in Africa.
Farm Shop began really as a way to deal with the big challenge that farmers are facing in terms of how to improve access to agricultural inputs. A lot of this started from work that I was doing when I was working for CARE in helping to build agro-dealers in Zambia. One of the things that I realized was, as much as these agro-dealer development programs are very helpful, in the long run, if we want these agro-dealer outlets to be sustainable, we need to find a different way in which we can support them in the long term. So for me, I think Farm Shop was very much the convergence of these two ideas, this huge issue of access to agricultural inputs for small farmers and the idea of how a franchise model could actually be used to solve it.
James Wainaina. Yeah. This is my brother. This is brother's house. This is mine.
Yeah.
This is mine.
This is yours?
Yes.
Okay, good.
When they come, they usually taught us this and this and this and this, and we have learned how to keep cattle. The most important, we have learned how to plant these seeds in different ways, different measurements we have been given. We keep it according to what we are taught here.
Right.
So it's very important for us.
Most of the farmers don't know how to feed well, so they can maximize on their production. If I come give a training on something, I'm assured that the farmers will go to the Farm Shop store and purchase the right product to give their cows.
Scaling involves a system, and you really can't work in a system without data. You can work at an individual level. You could run one shop successfully for the rest of its life without data.
Right.
But if you want to run 20 or 50 or 150 shops, there's no way. Farm Shop is already geographically large. I mean, it started off small, but every time it grows, it has bigger geography, bigger staff, many more people whose lives it's changing. And they're not all the same type of people. Some of them grow corn, some of them grow beans, some of them have livestock, some of them don't. So it's very easy to kind of maybe manage one shop and see how to run that shop the best. But if you have 55 shops, there's no way that you're going to know how to run all of those 55 shops as a system effectively without using data. And so at Farm Shop, the kind of data that we need is both predictive and causal. So we need predictive data that says, what is our most likely break-even point? But in terms of impact, if you want to know how you're changing an individual farmer's life, you need to spend time with that person and understand what a meaningful change in that person's life is.
Mita moja utatafuta, ama kama unataka viti mbili utatafuta mpaka pale penye inafika ndio unakata. Sasa
At the heart of social enterprise is that governance models and that business models actually incorporate issues around equity, around distribution, around equality in ways that maybe traditional forms of business do not always. There isn't just a spectrum of traditional philanthropy and then government on one hand, as well as pure capitalism and large business on the other. The spectrum of opportunities in between are really what social enterprise represents.
Yeah.
And I think the most interesting part is what is the appropriate combination of the different sectors, the different kinds of actors but also the different values that
Yeah.
each one of those groups brings.
One of the key challenges in achieving scale, if you're looking at social enterprises, is the whole process of learning and developing the business model and experimenting, trying things out, seeing what works, letting go of the things that don't work, building on the things that do work.
One of the things we're promoting at Farm Shop from the very beginning is ensuring all of the staff understand that we're on a journey, we're discovering new things, we don't know the answer. So we've really given them the flexibility and the space to go out and learn for themselves, to try things, to pilot.
There's the theory part, which most people come with, and then there's the practical aspects. Most of the people who work here are actually fresh from school, so most of them we have to train them. There's room for making mistakes, that is the best thing about it.
Once Farm Shop reaches that break-even point, the growth of the shops should be funded primarily by the commercial financing from institutional investors and social venture funds. However, we've chosen to continue to have a laboratory where we can test new ideas like agricultural finance, it may be services like crop spraying or soil testing, and we would probably want those to be ring-fenced in a way which donors can continue to support that work.
We are looking for businesses that are looking to grow. The Farm Shop model is ideal for people who buy small units because we connect the areas, we connect the routing in terms of our logistics. So we want the villagers, we want the farmers deep in the community to be able to access inputs near them. It cuts them costs to go to towns and to go to other industrial areas to try to get the inputs.
In many ways, the mechanics of the model that we're working on should be scalable and transferable to other sectors as well, whether it's health or whether it's in education or whether it's in the area of sanitation and water. The mechanics, I believe, are going to be quite similar. The economics of each model may be different, but how one follows this path to scale, I think is something that a lot of other social franchises can also learn from.